It was a jam-packed NBA Friday night, a cup night at that. And me and Swipe are going to break down every single game to go down tonight on Locked On NBA Game Night.
When that final buzzer rings, you know it's time for Locked On NBA Game Night. All the post-game reactions to every game across the league, every single night, with insights only the hosts at Locked On can provide. It's the true NBA fans' one stop for all the action. Every game, every night. It's Locked On NBA Game Night, tipping off now.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On NBA Game Night. Member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every single day. And in this case, every game, every night. I'm one of the hosts of Locked On Bulls. I'm joined, as I am every Friday night, by Swiper, one of the hosts of Locked On Nuggets. And we're going to jump right into it today. We're going to start off with your team, actually, Swiper. The Denver Nuggets get a win over the Houston Rockets, 112-109. This was a battle of the Western Conference teams. The Rockets have been really good despite not having a point guard, but the Denver Nuggets, no Aaron Gordon in this game. You had big games from Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, which you need in matchups like this. How'd you feel about this game?
Man, it's obviously really unfortunate. Aaron Gordon goes down with a hamstring injury 3 minutes into the game, and, man, it's just like – Lord willing, it's not anything serious. It's obviously super early in the season, so hopefully it's nothing that's going to be debilitating or, something that's going to hold him back at all. But that was a big loss, because they already don't have Christian Brown, and it's not just about like him being there, in the shooting and the scoring and everything. It's the continuity. You want to have your guys out there. You want to know that you got your best foot forward. And today, that was a matchup that he ideally is built for. But I will say, man, Peyton Watson, he's made a real mark on this team, man. He had 10 rebounds today, 9 points, coming off 12 rebound performance for the Pelicans. Kevin Durant and Alperen Şengün were straight bad today. They got locked up, and they've been playing really well this year. So don't take any credit away from them. But what the Nuggets do have, Haize, and I think a lot of people or maybe not might be aware of, is with Christian Brown, Aaron Gordon, Cam Johnson's defense has been really good. And then you add in Bruce Brown. And then off the bench, they got Spencer Jones as well. The Nuggets have a lot of wing defenders. They got a lot of really big body defenders. And so Kevin Durant struggled with that size today from Peyton Watson. And that defense that he played was so important to really turning the tide on today's game. But Nikola Jokic, man, is special. Like, he's the best player in the world. He continues to have these insane performances. And today it was only 34, 10, and 9. But it was how he got his 34, 10, and 9. It was the consistency. Haize, there was a stretch in the third quarter when he had 18 points in the third. The Nuggets ran a pin down for him. I want to say 3 or 4 straight possessions. And Jokic started off the third quarter with 7 points. He got a midi off of a pin down. He got a layup off it. He got a 3 off a pick and pop. Jokic then, talking about pump fake after that, spins around Alperen Şengün, dunks on Şengün and Jabari Smith Jr., and through maybe the craziest pass of the NBA season, drives by Steven Adams. He then gets to the spot. He looks in the corner, looks away, throws the ball around Jabari Smith Jr.'s head straight into the shooter pocket for Bruce, and he can't make the shot. But Jamal Murray had 26 points and 10 assists today. He had 14 points in the fourth quarter. The Nuggets are 12-3, Haize.
It's crazy.
Now, if you asked me to start the year off, if they could do that, that would have just sounded nuts, but they are comfortably the second best team in the NBA right now. And shout out to the Houston Rockets. They played really hard. Obviously, no Torrey Eason for them. They fought, but they just couldn't do enough in the end to put the game away.
Yeah, and I mean, this Denver Nuggets team, the depth that you guys added this offseason has really been playing off. Now, before we get out of this, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. We don't know exactly what's going on with Aaron Gordon yet. We don't know if it's going to be any extended time or anything, but he is such an important player for you guys. Like the ultimate role player there, and I don't say that to be derogatory. I think he does a little bit of everything there. How do you weather the storm of Aaron Gordon if he does miss some time?
Man, hey, Haize, you're going to get real used to a name named Spencer Jones that you'll be saying on the Game Night podcast, because that's what's going to happen. Spencer is a 6'7", 225-pound second-year player. He is a Lou Dort kind of defender in terms of he's big, he's physical, and he will foul you. But that's his role. Like the Nuggets want him to do that. They want him to lean into that. And so he's going to get a lot of playing time if Aaron Gordon is out for, hopefully not too long, but playing any amount of time at all. So Spencer Jones and Peyton Watson are going to have to take up a lot of that role. Maybe Zeke Naji too, but obviously Zeke Naji is not in the rotation for a reason right now.
That's a fact. So we shall see. Hopefully he's nothing there, that's long-term with Aaron Gordon. He's just so important to that team. Let's move on to the next game. The Raptors get their 6th win in a row, 140-110 over the Washington Wizards. Not that beating the Washington Wizards is like the most notable thing, but the Raptors have just been this team that have gotten better each week of the NBA season to where they are right now. Some would say that they're one of the best teams in the East. On top of that, I mean, they have the 2nd best record. Their defense has really been legit. You've seen that leap that they've wanted to see from Scottie Barnes for quite a while. How you feeling about the Raptors in this win over the Wizards?
I love this for Toronto. I love this for Penn. Shout out to my dog Penn. I love this for Toronto Raptors fans, for Canada. This team, I predicted was going to be a top 6 seed in the Eastern Conference this year, but they're surpassing even my expectations. They're playing like a squad. Scottie Barnes is playing well. He looks like the all-NBA player that we all dreamed he would be. Brandon Ingram's bringing the additional scoring that you need, the pull-up shooting, the three-point shooting, the driving, the playmaking. 6 assists for him today. Jakob Poeltl, as he's getting healthier, he's playing better. The team is playing better around him. RJ Barrett had a good game today again versus the Wizards. I understand that. But having Emmanuel quickly actually play well this year and be that quick twitch guard you need at the helm, and then Sandro Mamukelashvili is playing super well this season. 8 of 15 off the bench for 23. That's not including Jamal, Shed, Ochai Agbaji, Grady Dick. That team is rolling, man. Like, the only thing that could stop them is just not being healthy. But I'm telling you right now that this team, man, this could be a 2nd round type of team in the Eastern Conference, man. I love the way that Darko has them playing. They're connected. They're aggressive. And one of the most important things, and the same thing with the Detroit Pistons, they know who they are. And when you know who you are, you know the style of basketball you play, that's when you can beat anybody.
Absolutely, and that's exactly the style of basketball of playing. Like Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, 24 points each. Scottie Barnes with 23. Like the way that they just keep doing it and throw waves and waves and waves at you. And defensively, they can handle just about anything defensively. Can this Raptors team? What do you see as the ceiling? I know it's still very early. Things can change right now. Do you think this is one of the teams that are going to have a solid run and still maybe finish the season solidly, or do you think they can stay top 4, top 5 in the Eastern Conference?
Yeah, why not? I mean, the East is kind of it's a crapshoot right now. I just legitimately have no idea who's going to pop outside of them. The Magic, the Cavaliers, the Knicks, like the Hawks. Obviously with Jalen Johnson, taking over the helm with Trae Young out. So they can, but I think they should be confident that this year they're one of the 6 best teams in the East. I think that should bring them a lot of peace this year. Now, winning games in the NBA is a lot about your health and your depth. And if you can stay healthy and then you can utilize depth, that's how you rack up regular season wins. So they just need to win the games they're supposed to win. If they beat the teams that they're favored to beat, that's how you get to 45, 46, 47, 50 wins. And they do that, they could be on track to win around that many games.
Yeah, I mean, the Raptors in the Eastern Conference specifically, too, like we've seen in that conference more than anyone, like depth, a team that fits together and well coached, you can go far in the East just off those things alone, right? Like, and the Raptors have tons of depth. Kyler Murray-Boyles, like, I know he didn't play in this game, but he's been really good for them as well. I can't wait till he gets back out there. Like, this is just a team that I could see being maybe even upsetting a team in the first round. I don't necessarily have them going far in the East. Yeah. We'll see how the season goes, but this is definitely a team that you have to look out for. No team could overlook this Raptors team at all. The Wizards, though, I do want to spend a little time talking about them. They have 1 win on the season, and I know this is probably going to sound crazy to say about a 1-win team, but this is a scrappy team. Swipa.
Really man. Bilal's a good player. Like,
yeah,
I want to see him continue to develop. I like Keyshawn George. He's one of my favorite young players in the sport. But yeah, man, they're just not like they're again not knowing your identity, not having a clear direction. That's the definition of the Washington Wizards. They're just trying to tank and get another player, get a real blue chip. I know that's something that they've really been waiting on. But Trey Johnson can play. Bub Carrington can play. But they're very far away from what their final product is going to be. So Yeah, they're just not good right now. They're probably not going to win more than 15 games this year, unfortunately.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Well, with that said, we're going to continue talking about the games that went down tonight, specifically the Suns and Wolves game that came down to the wire with the last minute shot on top of that. Before we get into that, we do got to get into a message from a couple of our sponsors. The first one of those being Quo. Let's talk about something every business owner knows too well: missed calls. When a customer tries to reach you and you can't get through, that's money slipping away. Quo, spelled QUO, is the smarter way to run your business communications so you never miss an opportunity. Quo is the #1 business phone system built for 2025, not 1995. It's simple, modern, and designed to help you communicate faster, look more professional, and stay connected wherever you're working. I love that Quo works right from an app on your phone or computer. No extra devices, no clunky landlines. Your whole team can share one number and collaborate on calls and texts like a shared inbox, which means customers get help faster. Make small businesses feel big and big businesses feel efficient. No wonder over 90,000 businesses already are using Quo. Try Quo for free at quo.com/lockedonnba. That's QUO.com/lockedonnba. And yes, you can even keep your existing number. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers. Also got to talk to you guys about DoorDash. The NBA season is heating up, and DoorDash has found the perfect way to keep fans in their bag all season long. Whether you're watching for highlights, your fantasy team, or just your favorite player, DoorDash makes every game night even better. DoorDash is the official on-demand delivery platform of the NBA, and they're celebrating that with something called the Bag Drop. Every time an NBA player scores 50 points in a game, DoorDash drops 50% off your order with Dash Pass the next day, and you're automatically entered for a chance to win the ultimate fan bag. We're talking player-inspired drip, exclusive gear, and stuff you actually want. I love that it's not just food. You can get everything from snacks and drinks to headphones, ice, even socks, all delivered. DoorDash has you covered for late-night highlights, last-minute watch parties, and double OT fuel-ups. So the next time someone goes off for 50, use promo code NBA50 the next day to get 50% off DoorDash with Dash Pass, plus your shot at the bag drop. Dash Pass members only 50% off up to $10 the next day after a 50-point game with promo code. Terms apply. No purchase necessary. Ends April 13th. Open to U.S. residents 21 or older. Visit DoorDashInYourBag.com for full details. DoorDash, in your bag all season long. More game night coming up next. All right, Swiper. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. Continue this games, man. The Phoenix Suns, Timberwolves came down to Colin Gillespie go-ahead jumper with 6.4 seconds left as the Phoenix Suns beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. I personally had the Wolves in this game because I just thought they're better on both sides of the ball. But Swiper, all things being said, the Phoenix Suns have quietly become a pretty solid team out there in the West. You're muted. You're muted, Swiper.
Sorry, I was going to say, what their actual record right now, are they 10-5, 9-5? Because they're actually good. And shout out to Jordan Knott. Like, they have, they're playing very hard. They are a team that they don't have like a crazy amount of talent, but everybody's buying in. They're buying into what they're supposed to do. Dillon Brooks, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Winning keep following Dillon Brooks. He is a very impactful player. He plays extremely aggressive. And tonight, 22 points for Dillon Brooks, 4 of 8 from 3, and he was getting in the chest of anybody that got close to him for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, Anthony Edwards had 41 points tonight, 14 of 24 from the field. This is a huge bounce-back game for him. He is not playing well the last 3 games leading into this. But Dillon Brooks, Devin Booker was only 4 of 18. But Colin Gillespie, by the way, he was a two-way player with the Denver Nuggets. He ends up going to the Phoenix Suns to get another opportunity, and he's getting real minutes to be a point guard for this roster. And for him to get a go-ahead winning bucket versus the Minnesota Timberwolves team, that's insane. And I love that his career is taking this leap. But what people need to know, the Minnesota Timberwolves have not beaten a team over 500 this year, Haize.
That's surprising.
They every time they run into a team with a winning record, they get decimated defensively. Their defense has stunk this year versus good teams. So I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know what it's going to take for them to get back on board with how they should be playing basketball. And honestly, this might say more about Nickeil Alexander-Walker no longer being on that roster than anything else. But this is a struggle bus for them, man. And shout out to the Suns. I did not have them being this good this year, but currently they're 10-6 right now, and they're 6th in the Western Conference.
Yeah, I mean, and the Suns, for all the change and turnover that they had, right, and still in this one, if I'm not mistaken, Green hasn't played a game for them yet, right?
Well, no, he did, but remember he came back and then got the hamstring injury again. He came back from a hamstring injury, then hurt it again. Then he was out for 6 weeks after that.
So like the fact that we haven't even seen them at full strength yet. They feel like they found a good kind of way to manage Mark Williams too and keep him healthy as well. Where there's some games where he just won't play like over 20 minutes. He played 26 minutes in today's game with 19 points, 8 rebounds. This is going to be one of those tough, scrappy teams. It has all the feels, all the making of that. And I love that you pointed out Dillon Brooks. So much has been made about Dillon Brooks, and not to say that reputation wasn't earned, but I do think all things kept, he started shedding that in Houston, and that's continued here. He's just a really good role player that just, like you said, plays tough defense, hits shots when you needed to, and there's just more balance now on this Phoenix Suns team than what they've had the last couple of years. And yeah, like you said, they're probably gonna compete to avoid the play-in. Even if they do fall to the play-in, I would say they're probably ahead of schedule from where people thought they were after the trade.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't have any belief that they were going to be able to put together a competitive season, but maybe, like I said, if you have an actual starting five now with Devin Booker, and they needed Colin to close, but Ryan Dunn gives you your traditional defensive wing. Royce O'Neal is like maybe a bigger, smaller stretch four, but he's like a good wing player that can play defense at times. He's a really good shooter. And then you get Dillon Brooks, you get like a very strong physical wing that also would become a good offensive player. And then Devin Booker, obviously, like he's saying, being able to operate as like a high-level playmaker before. Only 16 points. We had 10 assists today. Created a lot of advantages for the Suns. And then off the bench, Jordan Goodwin, too. We haven't talked about him, but Jordan Goodwin's another player. He's been around on a couple teams, and he actually is a very good player, but just hasn't really found a home. Now he's finding one, and that shooting that he brings to this roster, and he's also like a passable enough defender to where if you have him on the floor, you can feel confident that he can execute the scheme. So you couple that shooting and being able to be a good team defender with everything else they got going on. They just have like an actual rotation, and this is not including Oso Ighodaro, who only played 12 minutes today. He was a +8, had 2 points, but he's had some really good games this year. That's an NBA team, and then you give them competent coaching. That's a team that's going to put a lot of people in a lot of bad spots this year.
Absolutely. It's a team you got to watch out for this season. Let's move on. Let's talk about the next game. The OKC Thunder, 144-112 over the Utah Jazz. Chet scores 31 points. The Thunder have now won what, eight games in a row as well. They're 16-1 in NBA Cup play over the last couple of years. 16-1 on the season. They're undefeated in NBA Cup play. How do you feel about this team in this win?
Oh, yeah, great win for them. I think they went on, again, OKC fans, if you hear this, and you can please correct me, I believe they went on a 22-0 run at one point in time in this game. I believe they went on a 31-4 run at one point in time in this game. This team they're monsters. This is an all-time great team. All-time great team. And SGA over the last 9 games is shooting 48% from 3. He's just found like a nice groove that he's in, and that obviously changes what they're doing on the offensive end and adding that kind of shooting from your best player. And right now, man, they're humming, and they're winning games decisively, and they're winning games easily. Now, the Utah Jazz, they're not a good team, but it's the style of how they're winning. It's the style of the levels that they're getting to. And one of the things I do think that needs to be noted is that SGA's playing really well, but Isaiah Hartenstein's having a really good year. He's having a good playmaking defensive season this year. Jay Will got a lot of minutes tonight. He had 15 points today, 6 assists and 6 rebounds. And then Chet Holmgren had 11 points today. And honestly, Chet was disappointing. He hadn't shot 35% from the field. He's been having a crazy scoring season so far. So yeah, OKC, they look and feel like, hey, this is the team of every era that you run into and you got to beat. And right now, they're just night in, night out. They're handling their business. They're playing really well. They also shot 62% from 3 today. So it's going to be really hard to beat OKC when they're shooting that well.
Yeah, you look at this OKC team as well. This is a team that no Wiggins tonight, no Kenrich Williams, no Jalen Williams at all this season at all. They lost their first-round pick, Thomas Sorber, to a torn ACL. This team is we still haven't seen this team complete yet this season. It's really scary how good the Thunder could be this year.
Yeah, I mean, they're the favorite for a reason, and so they very well could run through the league and maybe win 74-plus games this season.
We'll see. Hopefully, if they break the record, they break the record. We shall see. I know there's some people that think it's boring basketball when you kind of predict things at the beginning of the season, but they're just such a well-crafted team, well-built team. The draft picks that they have stocked up, they're going to be good for a long time. The Jazz, on the other hand, I'm going to be very interested to see what this Jazz team looks like after the trade deadline. I know that reportedly they don't want to move Laurie. Walker Kessler got hurt, but it just feels like the Jazz are going to make a move this year, at least to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we'll see, man. I think the Jazz, everything I'm hearing is the asking price that they're asking for is just like the same thing with Walker Kessler. It's insane. They have their own demands in their head. I would hope to see Lauri Markkanen in a very competitive situation. Can I tell you right now, Lauri Markkanen goes to a new situation, you get an instant all-NBA player that makes a tremendous difference on one of these contenders like the Detroit Pistons, and all of a sudden they look like they could be championship favorites out of their conference.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we will continue to move on. We're going to be talking about the rest of the games from NBA Friday night. But first, we do got to get into a message from Prize Picks. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement of the sports season. Whether you're following the NFL, NBA, or both, there's no better time to jump in on the action. If you haven't tried it yet, Prize Picks is the simplest way to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats, and if you get them right, you win. It takes less than 60 seconds to make your lineup, and you can play anywhere Prize Picks operates, including California, Texas, and Georgia. I've been using Prize Picks both during football Sundays and in the NBA tip-offs. It keeps every game exciting. The new Stacks feature is a game changer. You can now pick more on Steph's points, threes, and assists in the same lineup. Plus, if one of your players leaves early with an injury, the injury reboot saves my lineup from a loss. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNBA for $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. More Locked On Game Night coming up next. All right. Before we get up out of here, we got 5 games left to recap. The Warriors get a win over the Portland Trailblazers, 127-123. These are 2 very scrappy teams in the Western Conference. The Warriors are clearly the better team, but the Trailblazers are a team that you cannot count out. I don't care what their record is. You cannot count them out. They play really well as a team. Tiago Splitter's done a really good job taking over as the head coach of that team so far. How you feeling, Swiper?
Yeah, the Blazers are good. I really like how they're built. I like the continuity that they're building. I like the fact that they've added these veterans with these young players. And slowly but surely, man, they're just getting better and better and better and better. And they're doing this without Shaedon Sharpe. And Caleb Love, man, he continues to just improve steadily. And I know a lot of fans they're not as happy with him because of his inconsistency. But again, like 6 of 14 from 3 off the bench today, it's huge. Sidi Sissoko, plays really good minutes tonight, and then Denny Advia has another 26-point game, but he has 13 assists today. Donovan Clingan, maybe given the context, Portland fans, was his best game of the year. He get 22 and 10 and 4 assists with 2 steals from Donovan Clingan today. Tamani Kamara gives you 20. They're just playing very well, and they did this again without Drew Holiday, without Shaedon Sharpe. And the Warriors wanted this game. They had a few opportunities to do it. Steph Curry had 38 points himself today, 9 of 17 from 3 for Steph. You get 20 from Jimmy Butler. But Portland, man, people think that, because they're young, they might not know how to execute these games and win these games, but they're showing up in a lot of really big ways, man. They're playing really well. So shout out Portland, man. They're going to be another team vying for another playoff spot.
Definitely. They're definitely going to be looking for that. The Trailblazers are they're, like I said, that tough, scrappy team that refuses to go away. They're coached really well. They're going to win a lot of games this season. Let's move over for them to the Cavs over the Pacers, 120-109 for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They've slowly started to turn their season around, some after a little bit of a rough start. Do you still see the Cavs as the favorite to come out the East, or do you view a different team like the Pistons now?
Man, I don't even know. I couldn't. I've thought about this multiple times. They should be, given that where their roster is, but I just don't like that they're not a physical team. I don't like that they can't set the tone with you. They don't show me and haven't shown yet that when it comes to them having to actually like bring the fight to you, that is a testament of the roster. But I really like Darius Garland. I mean, people heard me last year. I thought Darius Garland should have been third-team All-NBA. I think Donovan Mitchell is obviously a second-team All-NBA caliber player. Evan Mobley is a really good young player. DeAndre Hunter, I think, is really good. But they just feel like they might be missing something. And it might just be that physicality portion of their game. But they're still going to be good. They're going to compete to come out of the Eastern Conference for sure. But I can't say that they're a lock. But, again, to your point, now that they got Darius Garland back, their offense is getting back to the levels it was last year. That actually is going to be the difference for them. A healthy Darius Garland makes them an elite team.
Absolutely. Next game, Nets over Boston, 113-105. How you feeling about this one?
Michael Porter Jr., I believe. Mike, let me check. Fourth quarter, Mike, 16 points, 7 of 8 from the field, 1 of 2 from the three-point line. Michael Porter Jr. is having the year that a lot of fans were hoping he would have. 33 points for Mike on 8 rebounds and 2 assists, 4 of 6 from 3. He has his own team now, and especially without Cam Thomas there, it's all on him to get it done. And he outdueled Jaylen Brown today. So I hope he stays healthy, man. I hope this is a career year for him, because he could continue to rewrite the narrative on him, and he could be a player that people are looking to add to their roster at some point. So Mike actually won them the game today. Shout out MPJ.
Yeah. Mavericks, 118-115 over the Pelicans. The Mavericks are a team that it's so confusing. Like, we heard that they could be looking to trade Anthony Davis. And Mark Cuban came out and said they're not looking to trade Anthony Davis. They're trying to win right now. They win this game 118, 29 points from Cooper Flagg, 24 from PJ Washington. On the other side, though, the Pelicans, Derrick Queen. I don't know about you, but
Special
I love
player.
seeing Derrick Queen play basketball. He's a baller. He's one of those players that I think people overthought him in the draft, and he's just proven a lot of teams wrong with that. How'd you feel about this game?
Derrick Queen had 11 assists today, and you talking about dribble, bing, bing, behind the back assist for a center.
Yeah.
That boy's dirty. Then you add Trey Murphy into that with 25 points. Zion had 22 points today. Yeah, their future's in Derrick Queen, man. Again, I don't know about the value of trading next year's first, but getting him and then getting Jeremiah Fears, who had 21 points today, like, look, for them, if that works out, they get 2 All-Stars out of this, then it all works out for them. That's good news. But shout out to the Dallas Mavericks, man, because their number 1 overall pick had his best game of the year, and his 3-ball didn't even go today. But again, it's just those buckets he gets forcing the issue. I really like Cooper Flagg, and then you couple him with PJ Washington. Special player, man, and I really think they played really well today. Shout out to the Mavericks, man.
Yeah, they played really well. Last game on the night, my Chicago Bulls, started with your team, we'll finish with mine. They lose 107-143 to the Miami Heat in this game. And this is a game that was competitive first quarter, and then the Heat went on a run in the second quarter, and Bulls briefly got the lead back down for a second, but the Miami Heat basically led this one all the way through. They dominated this one. Eric Spoelstra owns Billy Donovan. He has for years. I would love to see the record over the last 5 years of Billy Donovan versus Spoelstra. But this game, Khalil Ware with 20 points, 14 rebounds, leading the team in scoring. Bam with 18. Davion Mitchell with 16. They had, 9 players scoring double figures tonight? What you think about this game, Swipe?
Man, shout out the Bulls coming off 2 back-to-back huge last-second boost shots to win the games. So for them to get blown out, I was a little bit surprised today. But again, the Heat, like, their offense has been insane this year. Shout out Davion Mitchell. They had 8 scores in double digits today for the Miami Heat, man. So they found a new level this year offensively.
Yeah, I mean, and so it started off this year that they had that new offense. The defense didn't quite catch up. Now I think they're still ranked in the top 10 defensively as far as defensive rating. So they started to find that groove. And so with the pace that they play and the defense that they can go in, the way that they rebound with Bam's in the game as well, and how him and Khalil Ware are really learning to play off each other really well. This is a Heat team that, I know the record doesn't say it and dictate it, but I think this can be a dangerous team in the Eastern Conference this year. I
agree. I'm fully on board with that, bro. I think they can be dangerous. I think they can be really good. I also think the Bulls can be good, man. I just think the Bulls are just kind of in a, they're in a place where, like, they're not really good or not bad either, but, like, they're better than they were last year. I can say that. I think they really have bought into what Billy Donovan has been preaching this year. Io's been insane. And look, man, Matis, dude, like, That's a special kid, man. That's a special.
Yeah,
player,
Modest is special. He's going to be really special. He has to tighten some things up. He makes some mistakes out there. He had an injury scare out there today with falling on his ankle. But overall, like, Modest is going to be really good. And your boy Io has been balling all
crazy, bro.
He's been crazy.
He's this last year. This is this might be the last year of his deal. I can't remember.
Yeah, he's a unrestricted free agent at the end of this year.
Wow, dog. Yo, bro, you gonna get 20 M's in free agency.
Oh,
bro,
easily he's getting 20, bro. He's getting 20 easily. So we'll see what that holds. But anything left, Swiper, before we get out of here, man?
Great games tonight. This was a lot of competitive games. Not all of them were, but a lot of really competitive games tonight, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. You guys can follow us at Locked On NBA. Locked On NBA is free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube, the Odyssey app, Amazon Fire TV, Roku TV, Fubo TV. Basically, anywhere you want to see Locked On NBA, you guys can see us there. We'll catch you guys next week on Friday. Peace, y'all.